Dun, 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 dun. Oh shit, I forgot to turn on web captioner. That's a great start. Yes, hello everyone. It is me. Okay, there we go. Oh, hi everyone, it is I, Tasso, once again, doing a rare Saturday stream, because I'm busy tomorrow. And yeah, starting a new game, because we did Res last week, which was very fun. Glad I got to play that. And yeah, this week we are playing, this, I was going to just say this week, but it's not a one-off game, it is a 2 or 3 parter I think, but yeah, anyway. Lucifer Within Us is one of the games on the itch.io bundles that I got. I forgot which one, I have so many of them at this point. But yeah, it's an interesting premise. I think it's sort of like demonic summoning with cyberpunk-ish stuff and other things. Not 100% sure, but the premise looks interesting. I really like the art. It is by Kitfox Games, which is not a... I mean, it's not like a random indie... I mean, they are an indie company, but they're like not a small name. The more I say it, the more it's harder to explain. But yeah, I mean, they made Boyfriend Dungeon, which I'm sure some of you have heard about. But this is like one of their earlier games. I have played Boyfriend Dungeon, which I really liked. It was very fun. But yeah, it's one of their other games. So anyway, enough babbling. Let's get right into it. Two Brothers case. 100 years without murder, 100 years without demonic possession. Then this. I am Sister Ada, exorcist and investigator. This is my testament to the massacre at St. Walpurgis Abbey. It is truth. Do not believe the lies of my accusers. Yeah, so this is like a point-and-click game as well, so I think I'm fine playing with mouse. St. Walpurgis Abbey.
Sister Ada, welcome.
Oh, there is voice acting. Okay, I don't need to read everything. That's nice.
I am Virgil, Chief Inquisitor at St. Walpurgis Abbey.
I think I shall raise the game volume up so everyone can hear it.
We may be in need of your talents as an exorcist. You can survey the evidence yourself, but I think you will agree.
Has there truly been a murder?
It seems so. A respected priestess, Mother Miriam, passed this morning under suspicious circumstances. A demon may be present. Here, even now, possessing someone.
A demon among us. Dun. Insert the Among Us sound here.
What happened exactly?
Mother Miriam was only recently appointed as successor to Abbot Gregory. This morning, she came to the workshop to receive her coronet of office.
Something went wrong with the installation.
Yes, to put it mildly, the coronet oversurged, killing Mother Miriam. Brace yourself for the sight.
Well, that's fun.
Then the workshop operators, Gideon and Reuben, are the prime suspects. They are brothers, right?
Yes, but it's highly out of character for Gideon or Reuben to kill
I
someone.
mean, if you're possessed by a demon.
Even so, they were the only ones present when Mother Miriam died.
Daemons nurture our sinful desires into unthinkable actions, Virgil.
Yes, exactly.
One of the brothers has surely been seduced by a daemon.
Demon.
Whichever it is, I will unmask his lies and cast out the daemon within him.
May Einsoff's will be done. Amen.
To exorcise a daemon, we must uncover 4
Yes, yes. Show me the tutorial.
First, the suspect. We must identify which sinner is possessed by a daemon. Second, the opportunity. When exactly was the murder committed? We can pinpoint the opportunity by analyzing each suspect's testimonies. Third, the means by which the murder has been committed. The means can be found among the physical evidence at the scene of the incident. Fourth, the motive of the murderer, which can be found in their inner world, their sanctum. The motive will tell us which daemon possesses the sinner.
Very well. Let us begin our holy work.
There we go. Gideon claims that the incident was an incident, but Reuben claims that it is Gideon's fault. Are either of them telling the truth? Perhaps there's another possibility. a newly appointed voice of Einsof, who was scheduled to receive an Aether Coronet implant at the workshop. Yeah, I think this is very much a point-and-click game, so that's cool.
An exorcist? Surely there are no demons here, though. This was an accident, wasn't it? If Gideon is possessed, that would mean he did it on purpose. Horrible.
You must be the elder brother.
Yes, my name is Ruben Garamond. I am responsible for the engineering and design of our implants.
How did Mother Miriam die, exactly?
It was a completely preventable accident. Mother Miriam died because Gideon deliberately flouted the ceremony.
Interesting. Yes, okay, we are back. Okay, wow, that was a trip and a half. So my laptop died. I really need to send it in at this point. Because it was doing well. I thought it was doing well, but now it died horribly again, so sighs deeply. Anyway, so let's just continue. And I think if it really dies again, I might just call off the stream. Because I really don't want to deal with this bullshit. Alright. But let's see. Actually, maybe I should tone down the graphics. Yes. Wait. Settings. Most of the graphics were like ultra. Yeah. Okay.
An exorcist? Surely if Gideon is possessed.
You must be the elder.
Yes, my name is Ruben Garamond.
How did Mother Miriam die, exactly?
It was a completely preventable accident. Mother Miriam died because Gideon deliberately flouted the ceremonial guidelines for his own glory. Gideon may be my flesh and blood, but he must take responsibility for his negligence.
Sister Ada, hear Ruben's testimony and judge for yourself whether he speaks truth or lies. The testimony of a suspect is divided into events. You can access detailed descriptions of events by hovering over them. You can manipulate the timeline marker to navigate to any moment in the testimony. Let's listen to what Ruben has to say.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but she wanted something extravagant.
Oh, okay, we get to see it in
Gideon
real time.
suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous. Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway. Since he was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
This part has been rather long and repetitive. Let's also hit the next section. Try to stop ceremony.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged
Because of the
Gideon to
rest.
stop, but he didn't listen.
Oh, oof. Fine, now let's leave him for now. Then. Okay. Sure. Let's talk to a younger brother.
This is madness! I will not suffer this injustice!
Oh God, he reminds me of the dude from Devil May Cry 4. I hope the laptop doesn't die again. I am a little worried, not gonna lie.
I am Gideon the Grand, the greatest cybernetician of our generation. I am blessed. I don't know what went wrong this morning. My hands are guided by the divine.
Sure, friend.
I see only gaudy trinkets here. Mother Miriam died by your hands. Is that not so?
No, I would never harm her. Besides, why would I? She was my patron. In her kindness and generosity, she truly was like a mother to me, and I, her son. I did nothing wrong. The concentration chamber must have been compromised. Why is Sally not? Let's hear what Gideon has to say. Keep in mind that Gideon's testimony may differ greatly from Ruben's version of events. If an event is corroborated by the suspect's testimony, it will be marked as verified on the timeline. Let's listen to what Gideon has to say.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so I was confident. To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coordinates amplifier.
Wait a second. Let's read again what I said about Miriam's arrival.
To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber. Meanwhile, we began by closing our eyes and praying to Mother Miriam.
Interesting, Gideon does not mention Miriam being present while greeting Mother Miriam. Let's select Miriam's arrival and ask Gideon about it.
Mother Miriam came to me for her.
Good, I should remember that I can ask the suspect about any statement in the testimony. Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? He insists that he was alone. I wonder if Reuben will cooperate. I was certain I was alone then. But now let's finish hearing the rest of his testimony.
To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coordinates amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head.
Okay.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it.
Can I ask? No? Okay.
Then I activated the consecration chamber and began the ceremony itself. The aether output was within safe ranges.
Then it happened. Mother Miriam was killed, but it's impossible. I had everything under control. I've heard enough. Let's leave him for now. Okay. Now we've heard the testimony of each suspect, let's think carefully. There's only one truth to the chain of events of this morning, and I doubt the elder brother has told it to us. So we must rely on Ein Sof's greatest gift to us, our minds. There are three ways we should consider what we've discovered. First way is deduction, since there can only be one truth. If two things don't align, one or both of them are false. If Gideon and Reuben do not agree on something, someone is lying. Or if what they say do not match the evidence I find, then they must be lying. Second is induction. I should base my theory based on what I discover. If my theory does not align with any of the testimonies or evidence that I find, I should discard it. If two theories are both possible, then I should prefer the one that has more information that supports it. That said, induction alone is usually not enough. Finally, abduction. I must hypothesize what could have happened, filling gaps in information with my imagination. This is the fastest and most powerful way of thinking, but also the most fraught. I should engage in each of the three ways in order to uncover the truth. I mean, examine. The consecration ceremony, a valuable piece of physical evidence. A new entry is now added to your evidence panel, which can be found on the lower left of your display. There you can access detailed information about the consecration ceremony. You must present them to the suspects in order to discover any contradictions. Place the coronet and the recipient in the chamber. The performer and the recipient must pray in silence. Begin the song to start modulating the ether. Intensify the ether output by bringing the performance to the crescendo. Examine. A new piece of evidence? Let's examine it now. Found in Gideon's component is required to safely install the coronet without using ether oversurge. Used to activate and control the consecration chamber. Usage records show that the ether output during the ceremony was well beyond safe ranges. Examine. Used to open and close the consecration chamber, only operable from outside the chamber. Usage record show it was opened twice this morning. Okay. Found near Mother Miriam's body, part of the amplifier component and bits of the casing have survived the explosion. The body is completely unharmed, but her head has exploded into a mess of blood and bone fragments. Ah, lovely. Examine. Found Ruben's workstation. Plans for restoring a relic that was recently brought to Selbor Pragas by Father Augustine. Plans for constructing the Aether Coronet. The purpose of the device seems to be to amplify the user's Aether output. The components are amplifier, casing, and limiter. Anything else? What's that? What is this? The devil's herb! I knew something nefarious is afoot. The abbey must be purified of its scent. I should dispose of any that I find. Oh, okay. This is like a collectible. Anything else? Curious. Ruben claims he went back to his workstation. What does Gideon say? Let's switch to his testimony.
To prepare for the...
Gideon claims that Ruben opened the door to the consecration chamber. Let's go back to Ruben.
Gideon convinced her to
That's
move forward
Unmask.
with the ceremony anyway.
Ruben's lie. Lies unmasked. Ruben Garamond, you did not return to your workstation after the discussion. Gideon ordered you to open the consecration chamber for Mother Miriam. Ordered me? Is that what he told you? Despite his delusions, Gideon is certainly not my master. I did open the chamber. It's true. I apologize for the omission. It's a regular part of our routine that it slipped my mind earlier. Ruben has amended his testimony. Let's examine open chamber. Good. The statement from Ruben's testimony is now verified for two reasons. 1. Corroboration. Gideon's testimony confirms that Ruben opened the door for Mother Miriam. 2. Specificity. It has a shorter time frame and describes a clearer set of events. I can assume that any verified statement like this is true. What's more, the contradiction has weakened the suspect's resolve. His eye of providence glows, which allows me to enter the sanctum. His sanctum, the digital representation of his mind. Let's use his third eye to enter the sanctum and see what truly motivates the suspect. Evidence discovered. Believer. You only cracked the outer layer of his sanctum this time. So let's examine the psychological evidence that we found. Interesting, this information will help me discern which statements to trust. While Ruben sent the faithful server of eyeing South also he thinks he knows that cybernetics are a critical part of the one truth. Let's quickly examine each statement in his testimony again. Excellent. Some of the statements are now supported by the suspect's psychology. Next, I must find correlations between the suspect's behavior and existing demons. Let's open the demonology. Lucifer the Proud, the prince of demons and the eternal adversary of Einsoft, manifests in ambitious and strong-willed, promising them their heart's desire in exchange for their soul. Beelzebub the Gluttonous, simple-minded demon that debilitates the host, turning them into feral beasts. The host is compelled to consume stranger and filthier things, until nothing remains of their humanity. Satanas the Vengeful, a furious demon that stokes the simmering rage within the host, preys upon the fervent and the righteous, goading them to take matters into their own hands. Lotan the Envious, playful but deceitful demon who slowly drives the host mad with whispers of their own inadequacy. The host blames others for their ill fortune, until the apparent injustice drives them to take what is rightfully theirs. The suspect is possessed. There should be a psychological evidence there's a clear correlation with the demon. To obtain further psychological evidence, I must find more contradictions and present them to the suspect. Now that I have heard the testimony and gathered evidence, I can accuse the suspect. To accuse the suspect, I must establish the opportunity, means, and motive of the crime. I can try as many times as I wish, but there's only one true answer for each section. Let's try to establish the opportunity. Let's present a portion of the suspect's testimony. Accusing me of sabotage, then where could I have done this? Yeah? Good. If it's a valid answer, the suspect will be forced to admit that they could have committed the murder at the time. Otherwise, the suspect will give a counter argument as to why that is impossible. If I was in the chamber, then Gideon and Mother Miriam would have seen me. What about when Gideon and Mother Miriam were praying? I was still working at that time. Do I have proof that he wasn't? If I do, I should contradict him with it first before accusing him. During the ceremony, no one was inside the chamber other than Mother Miriam. If you are accusing me of sabotage, when what could I have done this? Let's try to establish the means. For this, I need to present physical evidence. Gideon was the one that operated the device. How could I have affected the chamber of Mother Miriam? The door. Good. Same as before, the suspect will accept my evidence if it is valid, and deny if they can explain why I'm wrong. I had nothing to do with this. Gideon handled everything for the ceremony. Gideon was the one who operated the device. How could I have affected the chamber? Finally, let's establish the motive, and then present psychological evidence from their own sanctum. Mother Miriam was our patron. Why would I want to harm her? Good. If he is the culprit, then presented with the correct motive, the demon within him will compel him to speak the truth. If not, he will deny my claim. Your faith is what drove you to kill Mother Miriam. Why would you think so? If anything, my faith is the proof that I would have not hurt the priestess. The accusation was unsuccessful, which means I must investigate further. Let's cancel for now and leave the suspect. Consecration ceremony. Discover important pieces of evidence. Let's ask the suspect about them. Let's select any evidence and ask him about it. Good. I should remember that I can ask the suspect about any evidence that I find. The consecration ceremony is meant to be glorious, beautiful. Ruben has always been devout, serious, and boring. We can't all be grand, I suppose. Sure. Recognize this component, Gideon? It was found on your workstation. The coronet limiter, impossible. But the explosion, how can it be undamaged? So I must have removed it from the coronet prior to the ceremony. Oh, but ensuring that the ceremony would end in a bloody mess. I had nothing to do with this. Why would I sabotage my own work? Why indeed? How exactly do you operate this device? Do you press the keys much like a normal organ? There's a crude way to phrase it, but there is much artistry in the performance. The rhythm and the melody of my music affects how the energy is transferred into the implant. This door access records so that the chamber was sealed during the ceremony. Show that the chamber was sealed during the ceremony. There you have it, proof that the ceremony was performed flawlessly. Perhaps what's curious is that the door was opened twice. The first time was when Ruben opened the door to let Mother Miriam in. The second time was just before the ceremony started, when you close your eyes and pray for guidance. With the one true God as my witness, I swear that is the truth. I knew and listened for his voice. It must have been Reuben who opened it for some reason. He was always skittish about the slightest possibility of malfunction. It was never supposed to happen, Mother Miriam. I'm so sorry. You can at least be comforted that her death was painless. My masterwork, it was perfectly fitted to Mother Miriam's brow. Even in pieces, you can see the sublime beauty of my artistry. But this can't be all you found. Where is the limiter? Limiter? That was a safety device? The Aether limiter was supposed to protect the coronet from an oversearch. Additionally, it was the crown jewel of the coronet. I suppose it's shattered. Damnation. Is that Reuben's little chart? He sure loves making things complicated. True art comes from the soul. Nothing in that mess of lines and wires expresses the beauty of the coronet. Oh, is that Reuben's little project? Whatever keeps him busy is fine by me. Huh. The consecration ceremony is an installation process to augment one's public speaking abilities. The consecration chamber is sealed during the ceremony to prevent any disruption. Sadly, it seems it wasn't enough this time. Poor Mother Miriam, killed by Gideon's arrogance. You find on Gideon's desk, it's no wonder the coronet exploded. The imbecile has forgotten to replace it after adjusting the coronet's amplification. Despicable. The control panel used to modulate the Aether output in the consecration chamber. Gideon always insists on performing the ceremony. You should ask him about it. For safety reasons, this button is the only way to open the consecration chamber's door. It's a nightmare. I always take an extra precaution so that nothing like this could ever happen. Yet here we are. Mother Miriam would still be alive if Gideon was more careful. Are these the only pieces that were found in the chamber? I see the casing and amplifier, but limiter seems to be missing. How could that be? Actually, wait, let me lower the graphics a little more. Medium. There we go. Mother Miriam's coronet was built according to these exact specifications. If Gideon performed the ceremony correctly, the coronet would have been safe to install. This was what I was working on during the ceremony. Father Augustine, a visiting scholar, asked me to help restore this relic. I'm quite proud of my work on it. It should be ready for tonight's mass. Father Augustine is a scholar of demons and aetheritic technologies. He's made truly remarkable discoveries in his theoretical works. Gideon's my delusional younger brother, who seems to believe fame equates to talent. I'm ashamed by his recklessness today and furious that Mother Miriam would pay the price for it. My name is Reuben. I'm responsible for the engineering and design of the implants. I'm the one who keeps things together here, or I try to. Anyway, I hope this was just an accident. Mother Miriam was our primary benefactor. Without her patronage, we wouldn't even have this workshop. I loved her. If only she hadn't trusted Gideon and his boasting, maybe she'd still be alive.
They decided to perform the ceremony anyway. I opened the consecration chamber, while Gideon brought the coronet.
So the door was closed until this point. Why do you not close it after Mother Miriam entered? Because I knew Gideon was bringing the coronet soon. The ceremony had yet begun anyway, so it was still safe to keep the chamber open.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
I saw Gideon pray before the ceremony began. He did that right, at least. What were you working on? I was restoring a ceremonial spear for tonight's mass. It's a magnificent relic. I think Abbot Gregory will be pleased with the result.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
How do I ask?
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen.
Gideon claims that the Aether output values were within safe ranges, but the control panel indicates otherwise. Let's present the control panel to him and unmask his lie. You lied, Gideon. The ceremony wasn't safe. The control panel's records show that the Aether output values were in abnormally high ranges. Of course it was. Mother Miriam wanted the coronet as powerful as it could be. But I am Gideon the Grand. With my talents, I had it under control. I made no errors. Something else went wrong. I just don't know what. Gideon has amended his testimony. Let's examine maintain control. Good. This statement from Gideon's testimony is now verified for 2 reasons. Specificity is a shorter time frame, describe a clearer set of events. Physicality. Gideon's testimony is now consistent with the records from the control panel. I can't assume that any verified statement like this is true.
The Aether output was dangerously high, but I had the chamber under control.
You have now admitted the ceremony was risky. What makes you so confident that you maintain control? Because I am a maestro. I remember every bit of my performance. Nothing that I did could have overcome the coronet limiter. Oh yeah, it's I. Narcissist. Yeah, I think that's kind of obvious, to be fair. Fuck. Pays attention and sincerely believe that he is the best cybernetician in the world. Sure. I am indeed talented and proud of it. And so, granting me my gifts, I gladly use them for his glory.
It happened. Mother Miriam was killed. But it's impossible. I had everything under control.
Then the unthinkable happened. Mother Miriam was killed. This was no accident. It's all Gideon's fault. Since Gideon was going to handle everything.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it. Then I rose up, opened my eyes, and approached the control panel. I was ready to begin.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks. When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen. Since Gideon suggested...
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times.
Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? Yes, I'm certain I was alone then.
Gideon suggested setting the coron...
You didn't even mention me being there? Typical.
They decided to perform the ceremony anyway. I opened the consecration chamber, while Gideon brought the coronet. Gideon suggested setting the
Go.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony.
Would you Mother Miriam? Yes, I'm certain. There we go. Lies, Gideon. Reuben tells me that he was with you when Mother Miriam arrived. What? Come to think of it, yes, he was standing there, scowling as usual. He was not just standing there, he tried to stop you. Mother Miriam wanted her coronet to be extraordinary, so he convinced her to increase its Aether output. Reuben warned you about the danger, but insisted to Mother Miriam that the ceremony was safe. I love my brother, but Reuben can be a sniveling coward. He's exaggerating the risk. Yes, the ceremony had some danger. However, it was well within my abilities. I made no error. This is how it happened.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so I was confident. Mother Miriam wanted the coronet to be spectacular, so I suggested maximizing its Aether amplification.
Okay. Skeptic. Okay. found in Gideon's and speaks and acts virtuously in public, but doesn't believe in the one truth and or the demon. Weren't they rooted out 100 years ago?
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head.
What exactly did you modify? I modified the amplifier with to its maximum setting. To do so, I had to temporarily remove the limiter. But I made sure to replace it before taking it to the chamber. Wait, contradict, because the limiter was right there. What is the... Where the... Okay. Doesn't work. No. Did Roman return to work? I have no idea. That's not important here anyhow.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything,
What were you working on? I was drawing a ceremonial spear. Unfortunately, I was occupied at the time, did not see exactly what Gideon did.
when Gideon...
After that, what happens? Gideon shooting at things under control is delusional. Why do you have to ask Gideon to stop? Why not force him? Couldn't you open the chamber or push Gideon aside? Interrupting the ceremony would have been more dangerous. Had I opened the chamber, the energy would have been let loose into the workshop. Had I pushed Gideon away, no one would have been controlling the energy gathered within the chamber. In either case, my action would have resulted in a greater catastrophe.
The aether output was dangerously high.
You've now admitted that the ceremony was risky. What makes you so confident that you maintain control? Because I am a maestro, I remember every bit of my performance. Nothing I did could have overcome the coronary limiter. No idea what you mean. Okay. Oh, wrong. I vaguely recall him coming up to me. I didn't hear him. I was too busy performing the ceremony. Verified, verified. Unverified.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
During the ceremony for Augustine, yeah. God, I have no idea what to do. I'm bad at puzzle solving.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table.
Is it the remains? No. No idea what you mean.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought meanwhile we began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought...
Would you heard the door open? Perhaps. I think I also heard footsteps, but it's a faint vague memory, not to mention it's impossible. After all, Mother Miriam can't open the door from within. Ruben was probably working away on some new device or another. I must have imagined it.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything,
What were you working on? How do I... Oh wait. Contradict. The doctor does something during his prayer? That doesn't mean anything. You could have imagined it. How do we prove it? Excellent, I have gone through the fundamental steps of investigating a murder. However, there is much I have yet to uncover about this incident. I should continue to find more information, contradict the suspect with them, and try to accuse a suspect. No one will tell me when I am ready to accuse. That is entirely up to my discretion. However, there are no consequences for a failed accusation. Each failure will help me bring me closer to the truth of the incident. So who's sus? I don't. So far, hard to say who's sus. Ooh, actually. Oh, did I just phase through the? I did just phase through. Okay. Really recorded. And Mr. Cranberry juice on the wall. Yeah, right. Well, let's talk to him again. He can help me. Exposition remains any competent that would suggest that the incident is sabotage. I did. How do I? Oh, is there anything here? No. I really look at all of that. Okay, just find your workstation. Coordinator. Why indeed?
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coordinates amplification at my...
Sure, demons are people they have a pass. Accuse. Oh. Contradict. Skeptic. Means. You are just in the coronate, you remove the limiter. That's nonsense. Do you think I'll forget to replace the crown jewel of my masterpiece? Motive. Your faith is weak, Gideon. Indeed, you question the teachings of the church. You killed Mother Miriam because you have utter disdain for our faith. What nonsense! My skepticism merely serves to fuel my creativity. One must be open to all possibilities to create truly original works. Besides, this does not explain why would I wish to kill Mother Miriam in particular. I love Mother Miriam. Why would I hurt her? I am not good at this. And so... What exactly do you modify? Think, Tassel, think indeed. No idea. No idea.
With the aether output was dangerously high.
Wait.
But I had the chamber under control.
Is that? No idea what you mean. Okay. Oops.
When Gideon activated the consequence...
Although you think things under control is delusional. Think, Tasso, think. Yes, I'm doing my best to think. Build according to the specifications. Will have been safe to install.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything...
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coordinates amplification at my work table.
Wait, how do I... There we go. Present? No idea what you mean.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
That doesn't mean I can't imagine it. Where is it? I do not follow your logic. I need to get his other thing.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen.
Don't follow your logic.
The aether output was dangerously high.
No idea what you mean.
Then it happened. Mother, then I rose up. Oh, the aether output was dangerously high, but I had the chamber under control. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam.
Wait, no, the other way around.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
Okay? No. They're just throwing everything now. It's time for the Phoenix Wright method of brute forcing. Okay. Ruben claims that it's Gideon's fault. Other than telling the truth, but there's another possibility. Curiously, the crux of this incident. Very close to who opened the chamber and when.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything,
The door controls? There we go. Because the door opened twice. You test my patience, Ruben. Has your memory slipped once more? The door record showed that the concentration chamber was opened twice today. Given that Gideon was praying during this time, only you could have opened the chamber. It's true that I opened the chamber again, but just before the ceremony started. I had my reasons. Something about the chamber seemed unseemly. Given what happened to Mother Miriam, I feel vindicated in my fears. Tell me what you did in the chamber. Oh, wow.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong.
So I opened the consecration chamber to verify that the coronet was in working order.
Okay.
Everything seemed fine, so I returned to my desk again.
Contradict. The coronet limiter? Remains? I guess I could do check chamber. Oh wait, I forgot I could do this. Pong. Envy. Fine, Ruben Center. Why does Gideon get the credit for all Ruben's hard work if only Gideon could be exposed for being the fraud that he is? He envious of Gideon? Ha! Unlikely. His artistry would be nothing without my designs. He doesn't know the first thing about how our implants actually work. All of his work is trite, superficial. Why anyone gives him attention is beyond me. Contradict. What were you checking? To perform the consecration ceremony safely, precision is critical. I want to make sure the coronet was placed correctly on Mother Miriam. Nope. How could I have affected the chamber of Mother Miriam? Nothing faulty with the coronate itself. Indeed, the crossmatch feat was flawless, as was Gideon's performance of the ceremony. But it removed the limiter from the coronate without Gideon's knowledge, which, coupled with the coronate's high amplification, caused an oversurge. Gideon's arrogance may have endangered Mother Miriam, but you ensured that she would die for it. During the prayer, he claimed to have opened the chamber to check the material. This was when he sabotaged the ceremony. Envy. Mother Miriam's death was merely a means to an end. Humiliation of Gideon. You envy your brother's success. You want his fame, his glory. Oh, we got him! We got him!
Ein Sof sees all, Reuben. You killed Mother Miriam to frame Gideon and take him down a peg.
I wonder, you know, a life isn't really worth taking down a peg.
Gideon gone, a daemon whispered that people would finally recognize you for your genius.
I am older than Gideon. My work is better than Gideon, and more important.
Oh boy.
But no one sees my work. No one understands my work.
Confess, Reuben. Tell us what the daemon made you do.
Oh. Oh shit.
Demonic corruption runs deep within Reuben's soul. Yet Reuben may still be saved.
Should I just...
I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out. Ein Sof, guide me. What daemon?
Can I go back? I just want to listen to... Wait. Envy. I guess should be
Out,
there.
Lotan! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
Magnificently done, Madam Exorcist.
The power of Ein Sof compels you, Lotan! Leave this soul and return to the ether!
Thousands of years, and you humans never change. Never satisfied, always comparing, wanting more. Someone else is always richer, prettier, wiser, better.
No, I should have listened to the modified testimony first before doing this.
Nothing can ever fill that void within you. Not even me.
Silence, Lotan! Reuben may yet be redeemed. You are a scourge. Without your influence, a good woman would still be alive. Leave humans be, Lotan. I banish you to the ether!
As you wish, but I'll return soon enough. My prince and master Lucifer walks among you. Lucifer will open the gates of hell, and at last, humanity will remember its full potential. Until then, Madam Exorcist, adieu.
Come forth, Reuben. What remains of you?
Thank.
He's silent and still. Poor soul. Rest, Reuben. Heal, if you can.
Sister Ada, you've returned. Was there a demon at work after all?
I'm afraid so. The exorcism was a success. Reuben's soul has been purged. Unfortunately, the daemon was difficult to cleanse. Reuben is returned to pure innocence.
What? The exorcism shattered his mind? Can you bring him back?
It's out of my hands. If Ein Sof wills it, maybe Reuben will heal.
Guards, please escort this shell to the cryostasis cellar. I pray for his swift recovery. Abbot Gregory!
Oh.
Praise be to Ein Sof, Sister Ada. You have saved us all. On behalf of everyone at St. Walpurgis, I express our utmost gratitude.
We are not yet safe. We must act quickly until we locate the source of the demonic influence. We don't understand yet why demons would act after 100 years. Holy Father, we must quarantine the Abbey and the surrounding town immediately. Detain and interrogate anyone who seems suspicious.
We can try, Sister Ada, but it will be difficult, as we have visitors arriving hourly. Much like yourself, pilgrims from afar.
Well, Progress Night. Oh shit.
Urgisnacht.
Well, Progress not.
It's such a shame Mother Miriam couldn't bear witness to it.
Ah, yes. The priestess. We must destroy her body immediately. Traces of demonic influence may remain from her contact with Reuben.
No, Sister Ada, thank you for your concern, but we absolutely cannot. Mother Miriam was a prominent figure and well-loved, with decades of service. We must treat her body with dignity and give her a proper burial.
That's totally not going to bite us in the ass later.
Send Mother Miriam's body to the mortuary for embalming.
Your Excellency, we really ought to take the advice of the exorcist.
Mother Miriam's body has been desecrated enough, Virgil. Send her to the mortuary, now.
That's totally not going to bite us in the
As
ass
you
later.
command, Your Excellency.
Holy Father, you are making a grave mistake.
Oh boy.
Sister Ada, don't worry yourself. All will be well. Saint Walpurga's trial
It probably won't, yeah.
brought us a century of peace and bliss.
It probably won't, Captain Rumia. Maybe. I don't
It's
know.
horrifying that a demon was exorcised from our abbey, but surely it was.
But it says what, embalming her or something, IDK, yeah. Like the mortuary assistant, right? That totally is not going to. That totally will
Reuben
work.
spoke of Lucifer's return. Lucifer's ways are insidious. Even the most devout among us have temptations.
Lucifer within us, Lucifer among us.
It's a shame Brother Reuben fell to the demon. But the rest of my flock is stronger. Faith shall be their shield.
Sus. Sus.
Now, please excuse me. This evening's mass requires my attention. We are honored by your presence, Sister Ada.
Lucifer was
Praise
ejected.
be to Ein Sof.
Even the Holy Father can be foolish then. Ein Sof. Let it not be true that Lucifer walks.
Lucifer was not the imposter. Oh no.
Ein Sof, guide me, that I may unmask all lies, no matter how painful.
The demon's final words haunted me. Lucifer was already among us. Dung. I wanted to destroy Mother Miriam's body to purge any traces of demonic influence. Abbot Gregory did not heed my warriors. Heed my worries? Did heed my words. Mother Miriam was to be given a proper burial. That afternoon, Inquisitor Virgil sent for me, asking urgently to meet him at the graveyard. Did someone die? Did the body kill someone?
Praise Ein Sof. Thank you for coming to our aid so quickly, Sister Ada.
Oh boy.
You said it was urgent. Has something
Yes.
happened to Mother Miriam's body?
No, in some ways, that would have been easier. There is now a second untimely death.
Squints.
Another murder. On the very same day. This can't be a coincidence.
That isn't for me to say, but this time, the victim is a younger acolyte named Isaac.
R.I.P. Isaac.
His remains were found in the grave that was dug for Mother Miriam. Poor kid's throat was slit.
Oh, wow.
Gruesome. Who was at the graveyard when the body was found?
Only 3 people were present this afternoon. A scholar, an embalmer, and a grave tender. Father Augustine is a scholar,
Oh, there we go.
visiting for Mother Miriam's funeral. The victim was his apprentice. Sister Nerissa, an embalmer with a sterling reputation, preparing Mother Miriam's body for burial. Finally, Abraham, the grave tender, a layman who has kept the grounds of the abbey for many years. None of them say they were near the grave until after the body was discovered.
Which means someone is lying. No matter. Ein Sof sees all. We will unmask their lies and bring the truth forward. I swear it.
This style just reminds me so much of RuneScape. Sounds familiar? I don't know who the voice actors are in this game. Also, this art style, I'm just slightly reminded of RuneScape looking at this. Probably because I had to set the graphics to medium, but still. Did you notice the muddy footprints in the mortuary, Sister Ada? The rainfall began around dusk. This means the prints were left by someone who walked in after that time. Augustine.
You must be Father Augustine. The victim was your apprentice, correct?
A scholar who researches demons and aided technology, helping Abbot Gregory prepare for the great mass tonight.
Correct. And you are Sister Ada, the exorcist. It is a unique pleasure.
Justice Washington, what a name. That is indeed a name. Thank you, but I only serve Ainsoft according to my calling. Why are you here, Father? I'm visiting in preparation for Mother Miriam's sudden funeral. It is a true blessing to witness your holy work, Sister Ada. I pray Isaac can rest in peace. How long did Isaac study under you? Did you know him well? He was a fine apprentice, a ready mind and willing soul. I will mourn him in my own way. But I must admit, the prospect of witnessing an exorcism is an unexpected silver lining. If I find you guilty, Father Augustine, you find the experience to be unpleasant. Tell me now, what happened this afternoon? Leave nothing out. I began by taking an afternoon stroll. Alright, let's go.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Okay.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walburga. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained.
Glorious.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring. At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Not Isaac. I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
Okay. Thank you, friend. Where are... Oh. Examine. Noble's grave. The immaculately maintained grave shows the genealogy of an illustrious family. There isn't a blade of grass out of place on the stone. There's lightweight blade slices through the air to trim grass and chop weeds. Its sharp edge could easily injure someone. The statue of Saint Walpurga, the founder of the abbey and the patron saint of exorcists. Oh, there's the grave tender.
Release me! I had nothing to do with that boy.
As gravekeeper, his responsibilities include the upkeep of cemetery grounds and preparing graves for burials. The heavy, callous hands at his side reveals an arduous job.
You must be Abraham, the grave tender.
I am. I worked here for 30 years, worked hard without complaint. Look around you, every bush trimmed, every headstone polished, because of me. I have done all that's asked of me and more. Yet, the moment something goes wrong, I'm the one blamed. It's not personal, even the most steadfast among us may fall prey to Lucifer's whispers, Abraham. You dug the grave in which the victim was found, didn't you? Actually, I didn't dig anything today. Then who did? How would I know? I've been busy, working, as always.
As the grave tender, any crimes that took place here are your responsibility. If you are truly innocent, hide nothing, and tell me what happened. We'll find the truth together.
Let's go.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary. When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches. I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Okay.
Suddenly, I heard someone call for help from the back field. I ran over, surprised to see a dead body in the grave.
Okay.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes.
If I read this at the time in any case. Maybe he was, I was elsewhere at the time.
When I
So dismissed early in the day, why didn't you go home? Nerissa made it clear that I should leave her to work, so I did, but there's still plenty of other grave-keeping work to be done. The large headstone front needed some attention, though I hate it that way. Wait, contradict. Not sure how this proves me wrong? Okay.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
You didn't run into anyone? Nope, no one passed by me.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Did I hear someone called for help? That's right. Maybe he was, I was elsewhere at the time. Only after he called for help, so I didn't see what he was doing then. Alright, let's... Victim's body. The Emperor's useful face is serene above his cleanly sealed throat with no bruising. However, an angry scar runs along his stomach. The victim, a teenage youth aspiring to be a scholar, raised in the church. He joined Augustine as his apprentice 8 months ago. Oh, there's the Devil's Herb. What is this? The Devil's Herb. I knew something nefarious afoot. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Found on the staircase between the mortuary and the grave, an Aether-powered tool for making incisions, applying preservatives and closing wounds. Can I go in? Okay, I can. Found hanging at the back area of the mortuary, heavy bulky and caked with dirt. Found on the floors of the mortuary, still wet, leads from the back exit of the mortuary to the embalming table. Unrestricted access granted to Albert Gregory. Okay. Okay, a bundle of fresh blossoms like that found on the grave. Why were they on the floor? Bloody. Found on the table with other entrails, still partially warm and moist. It appears mangled in some way, perhaps smashed. That's a nice discovery. Newly appointed. Ether calling it in the morning. Identified Mother Miriam, there's a large incision down her stomach. Judging from the uneven coloring and chemical sand, she appears partially embalmed.
Praise Ain Soph. You must be the famed exorcist. It is an honor, sister.
Embalmer at the mortuary, responsible for preparing the bodies for burial and administrative tasks such as scheduling burials.
I'm Nerissa, and I serve Ain Soph by preparing the dead for burial. I take pleasure in providing cleanliness and comfort for bodies after their souls have departed.
I see. Nerissa, how did you know the victim?
Not at all. The first time I saw him, he was curled in that grave, dirty and bloody. The whole afternoon, I prepared Mother Miriam's body for burial. There isn't much else to tell. Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. I'm grave to tell. Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
Ah.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities. Just after dark, I heard a scream from the back field. A dead body was found.
Oh, this two is caught. This two is verified. This tree is verified. Okay.
Once early this afternoon, I informed.
We had 10 bushes to dead. Oh, I asked him to dig a grave for the funeral. Interesting.
I spent the early afternoon tending to
A
the
body has been discovered. I don't remember this at all. Okay, friend. You might trim the treasures those days, but you didn't today, did you? Instead, Nerissa asked you to dig a grave for the funeral. That's true, it's a normal part of my job. I should have lied about it, I know. I worried that if I told the truth, I thought that you'd think I killed the boy, but I didn't. When you lied to me, you veiled the truth from the eye of Ainsoft. Speak the truth now, there's no room for error in this investigation. Fine, I dug the grave for the funeral. Just doing my job, but it was empty when I left it.
Nerissa told me there'd be an urgent funeral in the evening. I'm not usually told who it's for. So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave.
Okay.
The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
Oh yeah, let's do this as well. Integrity. Fine, Abraham Santa, he values honesty and sincerity. He generally loves trying to escape accusation. Okay.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful. Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know. When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches. So,
Here for the funeral team at the time.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Yeah, sure, I wasn't there.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue.
Is there something particular about the statue that caught your eye? Given its age, it's been immaculately maintained. The groundskeeper must be skilled. Well, that much is true, I suppose. There's not a lot that I can contradict.
For
Actually,
most of the
wait.
afternoon, I was walking through the.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
The footprint. Nothing contradicts what I said. I apologize for the filth. Normally the mortuary is kept pristine, but I assure you today is hardly a normal day. When was the...
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
I found your multi-tool, Nerissa. I'm truly grateful, Sister Ada. Where do you find this? It was lying in the grass near the rear staircase. Impossible, unless someone had stolen it. Surely Abraham couldn't do such a thing.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Not sure how that proves me wrong.
I spent the remainder. I walked through the mortuary.
After Abraham's disturbance.
I didn't see myself, but what he said makes sense. His mother Miriam's embalmed liver. It seems rather deformed. What happened to it? My apologies to Ada. I must have mishandled it. Organs are very delicate, you know. Due to disturbances today, I haven't been able to focus properly. Prepare these for visitors to the cemetery. You wouldn't be surprised at how often people forget to bring anything to honor their loved ones.
I walked through the ground was hard. Took me some time to dig.
That's my shovel. It's built to last. Good workmanship.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Maybe he was. I was elsewhere at the time.
For most of the afternoon, I was...
Is that what he claims? Fascinating. I don't quite know what you're asking.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Oh yeah, you didn't...
Once Abraham left,
Is that why I didn't even arrive because I was inside the mortuary? There we go. Lies, Nerissa. Our father Augustine saw you speak to Isaac by the entrance of the mortuary. Isaac entered the mortuary, admitted. Very well, there's no use hiding it. Please know that nothing untoward happened. The victor only stopped by for a moment.
the truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day.
Well, that explains the bouquet?
Grave to tell. When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up. Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit. Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming.
I walked through the mortuary and I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't any when I got back.
No, I didn't see anyone coming from the back exit of the mortuary.
I took a long break while digging. It's within my rights.
Conflict revealed. On my friend's honor, I swear that I saw no one while digging on the grave. I certainly did not see Nerissa the boy come through. Despite conflict with other testimonies, the suspect insists that the following is true.
Then the boy asked to be...
So when last saw he was headed towards the grave? That's right. He left the mortuary out the back. Oh yeah, I forgot to look at this. Famine survivor. That's interesting. A memory found in Nerissa's sanctum. She grew up during the Great Famine, feeding on anything that she could find. She eventually found sustenance. By what cost? Is this Beelzebub? Contradict. I don't know why Abraham would lie, but everything left through that door, I swear, I saw it myself. Okay.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
Interesting. I don't think that contradicts what I said. Okay.
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. I took a long break while digging. It's within my right.
He was elsewhere. One of this has to be lying. But just who? Shut down.
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Virgil, let's get there. Our trees only Father Augustine had a personal connection to the victim. Virgil is a crime of opportunity. The victim may have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Anything else I'm missing? Wait, something here. The scanner. A portable for recording images and text. Huh, interesting. I didn't ask about all the stuff. No, just that is my family's old grave. We're not nobility anymore, but the AB's grounds once belonged to my ancestor. It was all confiscated after my great uncle Sagarius was branded a heretic. Too bad for the rest of us. Maybe it's Einsoft's human that I work to there now as a labourer. Life has its ups and downs. It's a good job. The grass grows like weeds here. I use that to keep everything tidy and neat, the way a graveyard should be. The statue is always an ordeal to clean, 100-some odd years old already, as you probably know. Birds love making a mess on her head. I keep her sparkling clean, almost out of spite. Are you sure it was an accident? It seems so strange to have a murder after all these years without any. Unfortunately, we are sure Abraham did a daemon's work. A pity, and the boy so young too. I suppose it's part of Ainsoft's will somehow. There's definitely Nerissa's. I've seen her using it at the table many times, getting the dead ready to rest. Suppose it cuts and injects and repairs? I've never used one myself. Shovel, okay. That can't be my footprints. It's true that I went inside the mortuary after working outside, but that was before the rain. I don't know anything about this. Nerissa handles all the scheduling and tells me when I need to do something. Nerissa makes bouquets from a flower garden nearby. Visitors sometimes use them as offerings at the graves. You see that it's a liver? If it is, it looks like a dog got to it. I usually only see the bodies when they're all cleaned up. Nerissa must have not finished with this one yet. I don't know what that is. Why would someone put that on the grave? Scanner? I don't use anything like that for my work. Ah, Mother Miriam. This was the body I was preparing for the funeral tonight. A horrible way to die. At least her inner organs were intact. Embalmed liver. I appreciate this. Yeah, I find that. This is a smaller branch in the smaller branch in the cemetery, a quieter space for more wealthy patrons. There were no other burials scheduled for today or even this week. Apologize for the filth. I really did dig graves, but it's far too heavy for me to even carry. Real grass. Going for an autopsy on the victim's body, Nerissa? I have your multitude here. Is it truly necessary, Sister Ada? The victim's cause of death is quite cleanly for having his throat slit. There's something peculiar about this abdominal scar. Let's open it and see what lies within. As you wish, sister. Please give me a moment. There, it's ready. Good, let's have a closer look. What's this? This liver. It's loose. It's not attached to the rest of his organs at all. Found in the victim's body, detached from the rest of the organs, the liver is drained of blood and covered in some sort of chemical. It's an embalmed liver, you can tell by the patchy coloring. But I have no idea why it would be the victim's body when he just died. That's sus. Stay there? No, I doubt there's anything more. May Samuel Polgar watch over us all today. There's Abraham's sickle for cutting back the grass. Any tools are stored in the mortuary's back room, but I have no reason to even touch them. Abraham takes extra care in maintaining that grave. I often spot him standing over it. Strange liver.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
What do I do? Examine the victim's body. Check with the throat's clean because of whether that's the that scar. Yeah, I already did that. Multiple rooms. Around. Prints were left as walking after that time.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Contradicts what I said.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral, so I let him out the back exit.
There's really not much I can talk
I
about.
passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga. What craftsmanship! And so well.
I'm sure that Isaac must have died near the grave.
Then I passed.
There was a freshly dug grave in the rear field.
Then I got back to it and finished digging when the grave was ready.
Here, back edge of the mortuary.
Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes.
Yeah, it contradicts. Yeah, I guess it doesn't.
After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
There we go. The liver is still bloody. How could you possibly claim that it is ready for burial? I couldn't finish the burial preparations in time because I misplaced my surgical tool. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
Carnivore? Well, this is not what I expected. Enjoy exotic cuts of meat, especially fresh entrails and organs. Perhaps I enjoy meat too much, but everyone has a soft spot for something, don't they?
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results. After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
Evolving without it. mortuary? That seems improbable. I thought the same, but I searched everywhere inside. It's just not here somehow. Let's print these muddy footprints, Narissa. They indicate that someone left and then returned to the mortuary during the rain. Given that Father Augustine remained outside and then Abraham left before the rain. These must be your footprints. I'm sorry, Sister Ada, for the lies and for the filth. I can't wait to clean it up. I admit that I did step outside briefly to search for the multi-tool, but since it was raining I couldn't find anything, so the embalming remains sadly unfinished. You know, this is not what I expected when I did this, but I guess we're here. Found in Narissa's sanctum, a deep temptation to devour human flesh. How long has she felt this hunger? It's a terrible tendency of mine, but it's harmless, I assure you. I only nibble at the entrails that no one would want. Incredible.
I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain. I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results. I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain. Then the boy asked to be taken to the room. When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's taste.
How could I have done it? Do you see a weapon anywhere? The surgical multi-tool is designed for precise incisions into hardened tissue. It would have sliced through the living body with ease. Besides, nothing else could have allowed the killer to seal the wound on the victim's stomach. When could I have done such a thing? You killed Isaac while he was visiting the mortuary to fetch the bouquet. I admit it came by, but I left shortly afterwards. He died in the mortuary. Why was his body found in the grave? Because his body was moved. That was when it happened. After all, Abraham was still digging the grave at the time. He died in the mortuary. Why was his body found in the grave? I feel this means Abraham, you weren't searching for the multi-tool. You dragged the victim's body to the grave, hoping to bury it before anyone arrived. Why would I want to kill him? I mean, your austere childhood has led you to develop a deep craving for exotic meats, especially a certain rare flesh that has sustained you in the time of need. Working as an embalmer must have tempted you day in and day out. You were virtuous. You were so virtuous for so long. You would handle the organs as part of preparing the bodies. You could easily imagine the taste, the texture, yet you resisted. Then Isaac arrived, and the demon spoke. You could no longer ignore your hunger. A fresh, juicy liver at your fingertips. It would be so much tastier than the cold entrails you were handed from corpses. All you had to do is slit open his stomach, like you've done hundreds of times before.
Ein Sof sees all, Narissa.
This is not what I expected, but I guess...
You are the only person who could have killed Isaac. Do you deny it?
Oh, wow. She's without her mask now. Lovely.
Curse you, and curse Ein Sof. How can the eye see all? Does it see my suffering? Where was Ein Sof when my family was dying in the street, chewing on leather just to live another day?
The famine was a test, Narissa. Ein Sof wanted you to demonstrate your faith, your will to live.
Have you ever felt true hunger? When you haven't eaten for days, reality shifts. The body needs.
We all have our challenges set out before us, Narissa. Some more difficult than others.
Do you think I was the only one that fed on human flesh?
Well...
It's not for me to judge what you did back then. That's between you and your confessor. But today, you murdered an innocent youth so that you could feed on his liver. A daemon has possessed you. Confess, Narissa. Speak the truth. It is time.
I forgot that you couldn't see my cursor, but oh well. Alright. It's time
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. The truth is, that boy did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day. I'm grave to tell. When I brought him to the bouquet table, I don't know what came over me. The hunger clenched my belly suddenly. I've seen the butchers do it. It only took a quick slash to his throat, and he fell to the floor. I knew where to get the best cut. His liver. It was still warm. I couldn't believe the taste. Like nothing I've eaten before. Heavenly.
Oh boy. How lovely.
Then, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. My senses were returning, and I cleaned up my mess. I sealed the boy's body, putting the liver from the body I had been embalming inside and sealing it. I carried him to the new grave and quickly tossed him in. I heard someone coming, so I didn't have time to bury him. I was shaking with adrenaline. In my hurry to return to the mortuary, my multi-tool must have slipped out of my apron's pocket. I stored what was left of the liver among the other entrails, hoping to finish it later. I wanted to savor its deep, rich flavors.
But really, the liver, of all things?
I heard a scream from the backfield. Someone had already discovered the body.
Marissa's wretched soul is twisted by demonic influence. I must speak the daemon's true name.
It's kind of obvious who this is.
Then the daemon will be cast out and be banished to the ether.
Yeah.
Ainsuf, guide me. What daemon has possessed Narissa?
Beelzebub the gluttonous.
Out, Beelzebub! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
No! We must feed! Narissa, precious, scrumptious little morsel. We must have more. The hunger is an endless pit. More!
Speak, Beelzebub. Why has your kind returned?
He's hungry, that's why. There we go. Like Beelzebub and Helltaker. Yeah, Helltaker Beelzebub was much more fun than this.
Just as you feed on lesser life forms, growing them in captivity for slaughter, we feed on you. The meat of your emotions, the marrow of your deepest desires.
You will prey upon us no longer, Beelzebub. Return to the ether and never come back.
I must obey for now, but we won't be gone too long. Tonight, Lucifer will open the gates of hell. I won't be the only one allowed to feast. Ada, you juicy little morsel, we shall devour you soon. You and all the other delicacies.
Bye. You know, you can't see it, but I'm waving at Beelzebub.
Do you hear me, Narissa?
She's gone.
Was I too late?
There's nothing remain of your soul.
Goodbye, Narissa. May Ainsuf make you whole again.
So this is the power of an exorcist.
Augustine, you are very sus as well, I'm not gonna lie.
It looks a bit different than I imagined, however. What's happening to her?
Oh. Okay, that's a bit more than what I was anticipating.
Ada, look out!
Huh?
Halt, Nerissa! Good. I've stunned her. Are you all right, Sister Ada?
Yes. You came just in time. My thanks, Virgil.
Ein Sof, save us! Another possession! Another killing! How is this possible? Who is responsible? Virgil, you have failed us. How could you allow this to happen?
Unfortunately, Father, I believe you are primarily responsible. We should have listened to Ada.
I'm not going to be surprised if Abbot Gregory has Lucifer within him.
She warned us about the contaminated body, and its demons spread, just as she said.
We must act now. We can't waste any more time bickering about who's to blame. The daemon within Nerissa spoke of Lucifer's return. He walks among us.
Dun.
It's perverse that they would return now on the holiest of days. Why? Are we being punished?
I mean, it's because it's the holiest of days, I assume.
It doesn't matter why. The Abbey is unsafe, Father. Cancel the Mass. Send the pilgrims home. If you proceed,
He's gonna do it.
you are risking all their
He's still gonna
lives.
do it.
No, Father. You must stay the course. We've worked
Augustine?
too hard for this moment.
Augustine, what you doing?
I have decoded the ancient hymn of communion. The Mass can proceed as planned. This
Sus.
chance will not come again for another century. It's literally the last chance we have in our lifetimes.
What is the significance of that hymn? Why must it be sung tonight?
According to Augustine's research, it honors Saint Walpurga and her victory in a way uniquely pleasing to Ein Sof.
I protest. But if you absolutely must hold the Mass, at least allow me to guard you at the altar.
Yeah, it's not gonna end well.
You are putting yourself in danger. What if you were possessed?
He is possessed, I'm sure.
That may be unwise, Father. Surely if things are as dangerous as you say, nobody should be trusted.
Augustine?
How do we know this supposed exorcist is not...
Augustine?
That's absurd! You witnessed the exorcism!
No, I saw her turn a woman into a rabid beast. What really transpired in the ether when she supposedly exorcised these demons? She invokes the demons' names. She knows them more intimately than any of us.
I speak their names to control them and then banish them. You know this.
Squints. Squints heavily.
Or perhaps you are being used by them. How would we know?
The only thing that possesses me is the flame of Ein Sof. I shouldn't have to defend myself.
Actually, what Augustine says makes sense. We should be extra cautious, just in case. I don't want you at the Mass. If you truly believe Lucifer lurks at my abbey, find him. Unmask him.
This is not gonna end well.
Search the grounds as you like, but stay away from the chapel or I will have you put in a cell.
Oh boy.
Nothing can be permitted to interrupt the Mass and the hymn. Especially after the events of today, Saint Walpurga deserves to be honored for her victories. Inquisitor, Augustine, come. We have much to prepare. Very wise, Father, as always. Farewell, sister.
It would be best if you were wrong, Ada.
But I'm filled with dread. So weird how the voice acting just cuts off sometimes.
That's because it is. Lucifer will strike tonight, Virgil. I only pray he strikes at me instead of at the Mass. Stay vigilant.
Poisoned by Father Augustine against me, Abbot Gregory ordered I remain outside the chapel for his mass. At midnight, the gathered pilgrims lifted their voice in praise to Ein Sof, but they were cut short by another thunderous crash. Another soul taken. Well, I guess we'll find out next time. Actually, let me just exit and see whether we can. Are we back? Yes, we are back. Okay, there we go. Let me see if oh god, you see my stuff there. Oh no, shit. Oh well, it's not like the worst thing that could happen, I suppose. Uh, wait. There we go. Ooh, they changed the. Yeah, okay, good. They. Wait, let me close this for now. And start it again. Alright. After all of that, yeah, I think we're good to call it a stream for today. So I'll be back next week with more Lucifer Within Us. What probably might be the finale. I don't quite remember how long this game is. I think it's pretty short actually. So I think next part will be the last part of the game, and we'll see how that pans out and everything about it. Yeah, no problem, Captain Romeo. Thanks for hopping by. Always appreciate it. And also appreciate any VOD viewers who watch this as well. Hope you all stay, fun and safe. After the next stream, I might have to take 1 week off. I'll think about it at least. I'll see how things are because of my laptop constantly acting up. Like it crashed earlier in the middle of the stream. Yeah, it crashed like near the start of the stream. I think because of the GPU overheated. I think so. I'm gonna have to send my laptop in for repairs at some point just to ask what's going on. Especially because my laptop is still relatively new, so this shouldn't be happening. But that's how it is, I guess. But yeah, anyway, again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope the VOD viewers enjoy it as well. And yeah. So until next time, all of you, stay safe, wash your hands, all that fun stuff. And I will see you next week for what should be the ending of this game. But if not, we're getting very close to the end anyway. It's not a long game from what I know. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all again. And I'll see you then. Yes, I already said that how many times. Alright. Goodbye.
you.